Hello, friends! So, it often happened to me that gouache painting would pop up on my Instagram feed, and I always found them satisfying. And one day, an ad for this Himi set appeared by, and I surrendered to this impulsive buy. I was thinking of doing a full unboxing video, but I was too curious and started opening them. So now I'm gonna reveal all the colors. First, I really enjoy the color of the case, and the whole thing is very heavy, so I think I'm gonna have a lot of color to go through. Opening these packets was really messy, but I actually enjoyed it. It was very satisfying. This blue in particular was very beautiful. As I was opening the packets, I noticed that some of them were not well mixed together, so I grabbed a toothpick and mixed them in a little better. The consistency is really amazing. They are really soft. I was really curious to try them out, so I prepped a watercolor sheet of paper and sectioned it off. I found a video on YouTube where there was some beginner friendly mini paintings you could do, so I followed that video that I will link somewhere on the screen. And it was a strange experience because I always use watercolors. I used oil paints one time, but I didn't like them. The consistency is really fluid, but being my first time, I didn't know how much water I could mix in with the paint to get the right consistency. And probably because I didn't have appropriate brushes. I'm using brushes meant for oils, and they didn't behave well. I think I didn't like how they behaved. They were really streaky. I don't know, maybe it's probably just me. And another thing was I didn't know how to transfer colors from the the case without mixing the color I had on the paintbrush with the one on the palette. So I grabbed another toothpick and scooped out some paint and added to the palette. Speaking of toothpicks, I realized I didn't have a brush that was small enough to make some things, so I used a toothbrush to do the falling stars and later to make the lights in the first painting. Oh yeah, I'm making a night sky on the upper left, a view looking up to the top of the trees, sky with a cloud, and some misty mountains. Painting the cloud was really fun, considering it was the first time. It came out very pretty. Here I'm using a brush that I probably used to make something with glue because it's very stiff, and even using it, it didn't fall apart, so I think that brush is gone forever. But it made the perfect birds. The next day I went to the art store and grabbed some new paint brushes that I decided I will use only for gouache. And immediately the feeling of the brush with this paint was different. But I realized you have to mix a lot of paint with gouache if you want to do a thick background layer. So I had to remix the same color a few times. This last painting I'm trying to make a jasmine bush that was near my house, especially in June, July in my area. This kind of bushy plant is everywhere. You can see these tiny little white flowers popping out from every single corner of the street, and they are really nice to look at, and they smell amazing. So now with a small brush I'm making little cluster of flowers to start, and then I will eventually fill all the dark spots with flowers. I tried mixing grayish white to try and give a little depth, and later on I will add some flowers with the white I grabbed right from the palette. But it didn't have the effect that I wanted. In real life too, they don't look different from each other. But overall I liked the effect that came out. Lastly, I tried to make some tiny dots to fill some spaces. Peeling away the washi tape was so satisfying. The edges remain very crisp, apart from the last one, where some paint splashed out of the washi, but it's okay. The ones that I like the most are the night starry sky and the daylight sky. Those two are my favorites. The one with the view of the trees, I don't like. It didn't came out good. And this jasmine painting is not that bad, but I don't think this is the style that I'm comfortable with. I probably will try next time to make a sketch underneath and paint on top. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will surely make more gouache paintings. So if you like this kind of medium, please stick around, and I will see you next week. Bye!